It is a beautiful day for baseball, that's for sure. It's a beautiful day for just about anything. When you get mid-80s, sunny skies, downtown Minneapolis views, and so many Milwaukee Brewer fans in downtown Minneapolis, it's a good time. These are going to be fun games to watch and fun games to listen to on the Twins Radio Network, and Kris Attebery is with us in our left field position out here on the main concourse at Target Field. Kris, it's good to have you here.
It is awesome to be here. You're right. The atmosphere is fantastic. Brewers fans know how to get after it. But it's always a fun rivalry. It's
by get after it, do you mean
drink heavily? Yeah.
Yes.
Drink heavily is where I was going with that.
For
but no,
sure.
they travel well. They're all represented. I'm looking down. You can see like 10 different players represented with the jerseys.
Yeah.
I got a whole lineup of Brewers, no replicas. They travel. It's awesome. I think it's fantastic. And it's I told the story on the air earlier this week. We were in Milwaukee for a day game last year. There was a wedding in the parking lot before the day game. And then the reception was the tailgate. And then they all came into the ballpark. Like, it's fantastic.
One of my favorite memories in my career, I was a TV reporter in Milwaukee when they turned off the lights at County Stadium, and then when they turned them on at then Miller Park. And it's just Milwaukee and well, I think Milwaukee and St. Paul have a lot in common.
Very similar.
Yeah. The fan base is great, and obviously a lot of our listeners on WCCO are those Hudson, River Falls, kind of, you forget because we think of them as part of our community. But a lot of them are cheering for the Brewers.
Instead of the state line, I call it the Molitor line. It's the Paul Molitor line, and it's somewhere in western Wisconsin where you go from Twins fans to being Brewers fans.
Who gets to claim Molly this weekend, do you think?
We do.
Yeah, I think so.
We're claiming him. We're claiming him. And we do have a bit of a grudge match because it's a friendly rivalry kind of now because they're in different leagues. But back in the day when they were both in the American League, they would fight all the time. So I got Danny Gladden and Tim Laudner ready to duke it out with Rock Schroeder and Paul Molitor in the press box later today.
I mean, I like your odds. I got to be honest.
My money's on Danny. Every time.
He's scrappy.
Yeah, that's one word.
Kris, this season so far, what's been your biggest, one positive surprise, one maybe disappointing surprise?
The disappointing one I'll start with is just the injuries have been awful, right?
Yeah.
And every team has it. So you can't just say it's the Twins, but when it happens to your guys, because they go hand in hand. We wanted to see what McAble looked like, what Taj Bradley looked like. Well, they both looked awesome, and then they both got hurt. Now, Taj was throwing a bullpen out here earlier today, so I think we'll see him back fairly soon. So that was disappointing because I thought so much of this year was about the young starting pitching, and they'd gotten off to a really good start. Obviously, Wally, disappointing start. Royce, it's been disappointing that he hasn't been able to unlock things offensively. But overall, I think this has been a really fun team, and I think it's been a highly competitive team. We're sitting 4 games under. Every game for a long time has felt like the same game. Load the bases, work walks, don't chase. If you get the big hit early, maybe you win the game. If you don't get the big hit in that 4th inning, bases loaded, 2-out situation, maybe you lose the game. But I feel like we're right on the cusp of really being a pretty feisty club. Teams don't like playing us right now, is what I hear after we finish up a series, because offensively we've become a lot more challenging to deal with.
That's been my biggest surprise, that just how fun this team has been to watch. And you get the sense, and this sounds like, look, we get it. When you're not a team that is expected to contend, you look for the little victories. But seeing the fact that these guys have had several come from behind late inning offensive explosions. And as a fan, look, my attitude on this season was sort of like, let's see what we can learn. My expectations are nothing, and it's exceeded what I have expected.
I think they're a competitive bunch, and obviously Byron's been awesome. But I think what Austin's done, what Trevor Larnach has done,
Austin,
I mean, those guys have played really well. Ryan Jeffers is having a really outstanding year, and then the young pitching, and you look around the division. I made the comment to someone the other day about they beat Cleveland, so they pulled them down a rung on the ladder. We went up a rung. And someone asked me about the American League Central ladder, and I said the beauty is it's a step ladder. It's not a full-length ladder this year. So if you can stay within arm's reach, who knows what happens? Maybe a guy gets called up and takes off with his hair on fire, and you make a big run. So keep playing good competitive baseball, and I think the Brewers are kind of the model of that. Every year they say, this is the year. They can't compete. They traded their pitching. And every year they just keep being a real pain in the butt to play against.
Kris Attebery is with us, the voice of the Twins on the Twins Radio Network. You hear him here on CCO Radio. So, look, we were playing our little radio game show, and you and I were talking a little bit about game shows. Were you a game show fan as a kid?
I was. So we lived in the country, and we only had 2 channels. And then when you'd get sick from school, that was all you had, right? That was it. And so you watched a lot of game shows in the morning until it was soap opera time. And then that's when you went outside or went back to bed. So, watched a lot of game shows growing up.
You worked as a DJ? You worked in radio?
I did. When I got out of college, I went to Cody, Wyoming.
So you went to, let me just stop you for a second, because I went to Marquette in Milwaukee, and my parents, I think, thought that I was maybe not living up to my academic potential. I got a full scholarship to go to college. They're like, and you want to be
knocking Marquette like that.
I know, but they're like, you want to be a TV reporter? Like, don't you want to do something better? And I was doing overnights on radio, whatever I could do to get a broadcast gig. You went to Stanford.
I did.
And then went to
Cody, Wyoming in my 1970 Chevy pickup with all my belongings.
Did your family think you were like a failure or a lunatic or what?
Maybe. I don't know. No, my dad was great. He was always like, go do what you're going to do. My mom was a little more suspicious about everything. I think she still thinks I might be the PA guy here. I don't think she really understands what
unclear.
I do. Yeah. But my dad was supportive. And so, I was, the small town radio station. I did all the high school sports, and I DJ'd in the morning, and you do like the local events. You'd bowl frozen turkeys down the aisle and
whatever it takes,
parades,
right? Yeah.
And dress up like Rudolph at Christmas, all that stuff.
It is weird when you're 21 and famous in a way that is very insignificant in the larger scheme, right? Like, you have to make sure you don't believe your own hype.
Yes. I've always assumed if there's 100 people that probably a third of them hate you and don't even know why.
Yeah.
A third of them love you and don't know why. And a third of them really don't care. So I've always focused on the third that doesn't care, because that's probably they're probably the most level-headed of the bunch.
Do you hear the noise? Like, if people like the social media chatter or anything like that?
So I'm not on any social media, so I hear nothing. So I don't know if people like me, if they don't like me. I hear from my bosses and my employers. I hear from people walking around, but you know how it is. People in person are always a lot nicer
very
to
nice,
you, right? They're always like, "Oh, we love you,"
right?
And then they get online and be like, "He's terrible." So no, I don't listen to it. When I'm not good, I hear about it from my wife. She tells me when I'm not good.
Oh, what does your wife not like?
Oh, if I use too many words, or I talk too much, or I talk too fast, or I don't enunciate, I'll hear it. She lets me know. But she's been letting me know since I was a DJ in Cody, Wyoming. Yeah. So she knows.
You guys have been together?
Yeah, since 95. I can't even count all the years. But yeah, since 1995.
It's a special person that can go along on the ride for this kind of a gig.
And just to support it all the way when, like, she actually had a job and crazy things like insurance, which I didn't have until I was 42 years old or something.
Right.
And then now the payoff comes, and the reward for her is that she's home alone all the time while I'm on the road.
So, and how old are your kids?
My daughter is 17, just wrapping up her junior year. But yeah, my family's awesome, but I'll hear it. Like, I don't need social media to tell me I stink, because I live with a 17-year-old and my wife who are happy to tell me when I stink.
Yeah. Kris Attebery is with us. We're in the point of the Twins season right now where you hate to say it could go one way or the other, but it sort of could, right? Like,
yeah.
I think as the weather turns, fans maybe get a little more interested.
I hope so. I mean, I've always told people, like, give this team a chance, and I understand that people have a certain perception and are leery. And I think in Minnesota, I've learned as a non-Minnesotan, more than any other place I've ever been, I've worked in a lot of different areas, Minnesota sports fans are leery of giving their heart to any organization, lest it be broken
It's a little self-preservation.
Yeah, so I feel like if we went 160-0 and lost the last 2 games, people would think it was, that the season was in flames. So I think the onus is on the team and the organization to earn back the trust. And the only way to do that is play fun baseball, win more than you lose, and make Target Field a place that everybody should want to come have a good time. I think Target Field is a place where people can come and have a good time on a regular basis. I mean, right now we got a band, we got $2 beers, we got great weather. It's a great place to hang out. And again, then just the onus is on the team to
has to perform.
Back. I mean, fans, and I don't have any problem with fans saying I'm not coming.
I get it.
You're right. Yeah. We have to earn you back.
I think that makes sense. Kris Attebery is with us. And part of that, in you and your style broadcasting, part of the fun for me of listening to you guys is, frankly, when a game is boring, then you really have to earn your pay. I enjoy that. I don't. Do you enjoy that?
I enjoy all the games. I mean, I would love a Bailey Ober 89 pitch CG every night.
That was something else.
And the funny thing is, we haven't played many of those laughers. Like almost every game has been a nail biter. But look, if I'm sitting next to Dan Gladden or Paul Molitor or Glenn Perkins, and I can't have a good time listening to those guys talk about baseball, then I am in the wrong line of work. And those guys are so fun, and they're all so different.
Who's the worst?
You would ask that. You know who's the worst? Me. I'm the worst. I'm the worst. They're all good.
The YouTube commenters are coming through for you. Attebery is actually pretty damn good. How about that?
Like the use of actually there. That's a good qualifier.
Very
appreciate it.
He was super surprised.
Yeah, there you go.
Didn't see it coming.
Did not see it coming. We're here to surprise.
Kris, appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
What are you gonna? You got to eat all those? Are you going Joey Chestnut here? You have still like 8 hot dogs here.
So many hot dogs.
And I'm going to warn you. I've been around this game a long time. They don't get better the colder they get. So I'm thinking you might want to maybe sock away a couple for later, but you might want to get to work on these things.
I will do that. I'll give you a couple for the road too. Yeah.
Can I tell you one hot dog story before we go? Do we have time?
Go ahead.
In Seattle, they throw. It's one of my favorite things. They throw hot dogs with. Remember Poopa Troopers as kids with the parachutes? They have Poopa Troopers that are hot dogs, and they wrap them up and they throw them from the upper deck in like the 6th inning, and then fans will cut you. To get a hot dog attached to a parachute because people are insane.
Anything free.
And it's always full. And so it's always a fight and the hot dogs come down. And they have the wires that attach the screen vinyl plate, the net. There's a big wire that goes up to the press box. Occasionally the hot dog parachuter will get caught up there, kind of like in Lord of the Flies. And then the seagulls come in and it's just devastation. It's the best theater in baseball. So there, you'll learn something today.
I had no idea. Very good. Thanks, Kris.